Hi everyone, this is Chrisa Assis, founder and teacher of Bautanz Constructing Dance. We will be covering today Tango Networking Volume 2, and in the Volume 1, we covered how you can make the best out of the milongas in the festivals. This time we're going to talk about the classes that are usually offered during festival time, and I know that most of you, it's like a trend that's going on. You want to take the best out of the festival. You want to work with these very big names. You want to get to meet them, and so on and so forth. So you're like, all right, I'm going to register for every class possible. I'm gonna go all in, and so on and so forth, right? Wrong. So let's start with that exactly. What it is actually that you really need to do is, number one, talk to your teacher. You remember that person who teaches you on a regular basis and they know your strengths, your flaws, and your needs in your dance? That person. So you ask that person about what classes are offered, what is it really that you need, and then guess what? You actually follow their advice. So I had so many people come to me. Usually students are pretty good doing the first part. So they come to me with a schedule. Say, oh, this person is coming and I would really like to take some of the classes. So which classes should I go to? Which milongas should I go to? Maybe they can't afford everything, or so on and so forth. We get into an hour and a half conversations of what it is that it is better for them to do. What combination, and so on and so forth. And then guess what? They go back home and they register for whatever they actually really wanted to register before talking to me, ignoring all the advice that I gave them. They go to the classes and then they come back and they complain. I mean, why are you complaining? You were warned. So, all right. Ask your teacher, follow their advice. So, because I hope that with this video, you'll get, even if you don't follow their advice, you will get some insight on how to do this on your own. I'm going to give you a few ideas on how to actually choose the right class for you. Level one. It is for, let's talk about beginner student going to her first festival. So let's say beginner is somewhere between 6 months and 1 year. We're not talking about the people who have never done tango before. We're talking about the people who have done some tango. They haven't been to a festival before. Maybe they started like 8 months ago or something, and this is now in the summer their first festival. So my suggestion to you is choose the technique classes. So first of all, you get exactly what you need to progress, a technique. Second of all, it's a class that is more likely geared towards individuals and not towards couples, that all the other classes are set around. So it's a class that's geared towards individuals and not towards couples. Even if you do have a partner, it is actually better to take the technique class, because you won't have to you will manage to focus on that one thing that the class is focusing on, instead of on dealing with the partnership at the same time, because you are not comfortable in that partnership yet. You're not even close to becoming comfortable, and that will become almost a limitation. You won't be able to get the 100% out of what you would have been able to. So that's why I would suggest The technique classes, you will be able to get exactly what you need to progress. You will be able to practice that something afterwards, after the festival is over, and it is a chance for you to understand a little bit better what tango is about. Now, how many classes you would need to get? 2 to 3 max over the weekend. Or over like the four-day schedule of the festival. So you are probably now thinking, what? That's it? But there are all these classes that are happening. That's not exactly it. It happened to me. It has happened to many other people. I made that mistake in my first festival. I went there. I took a bunch of technique classes. That was my teacher's suggestion, and it was a great one. So I followed his advice. What I did not do, though, is actually record my experience. I like taking notes. That's an option. Some people now, I know some teachers now actually allow video. That's also an option. But any way that you can go through that class, not just practicing, but actually revisiting it in your mind. Looking at the video, if you can actually get the video, but also going and recording the details that were important to you. Not just the exercise, but something. Those people have a lot to give. So there must be something in there that was like, oh, this is actually a cool idea. Record that cool idea. So you'll need to spend maybe if the class is like an hour, usually they're an hour long. You're probably it would be great to be able to match it with another hour of a little bit of thinking, a little bit of practicing if you can. Plus, it is far better when it's your first festival to invest some time in networking, the small talk that we talked about in the previous video. In order to do that, you should be able to go to the milongas and be like a normal person, not be sleep deprived and walk around like a tango zombie. So that's why I'm suggesting 2 to 3 classes max. So Level 2. Level 2 is the intermediate dancers. So you've done like a year and more of tango, and you've probably done some festivals before. You are becoming good, but you're not quite there yet. It's this really in between level in all aspects. You know some sequences, but not that many. Your technique is relatively okay, but not really there. Everything is somewhere in the middle. So my suggestion is to keep calm, stay quiet, aka don't show off, and work. You need to put in the work. So pick classes from the beginner level that touch upon subject such as the embrace, rhythmical patterns, that sort of stuff. You get the idea. Not that many sequences and stuff, but more in that a different level of looking at beginner. Then technique classes, as many as you can do, as many as you can handle, and as many classes as they are determined for your level, intermediate level. So beginner classes that go deeper into the idea of tango, embrace, musicality, connection, that sort of thing. Then technique classes that detail focus to things to elements that you need to work on. Your teacher will be able to help you on that. And the classes that are designed for your level, intermediate level classes. And then you have to go back, record all these things, give yourself the time to actually think about this. Think about the classes that you did. Check to see how they fit with the things that you already know. Even if something sounds different, there is a common base. It's tango. So there is a common base to it. You just need to give yourself some time to figure it out. And then, milongas, try to attend the event as much as possible. If you have to pick and choose, personally, I would suggest you go to the one with the biggest show. The fees, the entrance fees, are usually a little bit steep, usually in the festivals. So since you're spending the money, you might as well get the best at the shows. Yeah, that would be it. Spend them at the one that has the best shows, or the one that the dancers who you actually want to see dancing, performing, will be performing in. Now, level 3, advanced dancers. Now, this is a fascinating level. From those of you who are really are advanced, based on experience, understanding, years of being into it. How well you know the music, how well you know the history of the dance. All these things make you an advanced dancer. Based on statistics, not only on tango, but generally speaking, football, soccer, really advanced people who are at that high quality level, high level of understanding, 80 to 90% of them have already reached their potential. Yeah. This is it for them. For 80 to 90% of you, this is it. If you're feeling, or better said, if you know you are good, then either you will quadruple down with time, you work with work, we work harder, smarter, investing in diversity, investing in many different levels, in many different teachers, in maybe even different forms of dance. So you will not end up at the 80-90%, or you will accept it and you'll say, well, you know what, I like where I am, that's where I want to be, and that's it. But be prepared. And make sure that you won't start complaining after a little while when you feel that you hit that point of this is not going anywhere, and I don't know what to do. So what you need to do is work even harder and smarter. So now, what does that mean for tango specifically and festivals? Festivals are really, for you, are really a great opportunity. What I would do is I would take as many classes as I can in things that I feel that I'm lacking. Supposedly, if you're an advanced dancer, you already know what you suck at and what you're really good at. So take classes that enhance your strengths, so you can win more from them, and then take classes to the things that you know that you're not really good, really there yet, but you can actually change them, you can actually change them by investing and working with different people. Now, personally, I mostly do private classes because through the private class I get to really pinpoint what I need to do with who, with which teacher, and put it into the big put it into my big plan of getting better. But that, I know, is not always the most affordable choice for everyone. If it's not something that you can afford or that you feel comfortable doing, because some people prefer to be in a group environment, then I will say that based on your flaws, based on the things that you have trouble with, choose as many classes as you can to work on them, to get past them, and those things that you feel are, things that you suck at, things that you're not really sure about, those are the things that might actually make you go from advanced to great. So, level 4, the absolute beginner. Absolute beginner means a person who has never done tango before, and they find out about the festival and they want to try it. Great, awesome. That's a great idea. Only don't go to the beginner classes because you're not a beginner level. You have no level because you don't know tango. You don't know what tango is. You just saw it on Dancing with the Stars, and you want to try it. Amazing. That's great. Go to the intro class if that is offered. Some festivals do offer intro to tango. Go for that one. Don't go to the beginner level because you're not at a beginner level. It might be called Intro to Tango, Introduction to Tango, Argentine Tango, Absolute Beginner, something like that. Also, don't read at the technique classes that are saying all level class. Same idea. You need to know a dance to work on its technique, and you need to actually have a level to go to an all-level class. You don't have a level because you haven't done tango before. So look for the absolute beginner classes, look for the intro to tango classes. If there aren't any, it's still a great idea to attend one or two of the nights, to go and really see what it looks like, what it will look like in a couple of months after you actually do your first class, and see a beautiful show, from really high-end professionals, and start off at a much better place than most of us, really. So don't start from a beginner class, don't start from an all-level class, start from an introductory class. If there's no introductory class, just go to the milongas. It will be a great start. Go there, start understanding the social aspect of the dance. That's going to be a great start, and start your classes right after the festival. Now, how to choose your classes. If you are a beginner and you just started tango, say a couple months before the festival, so you've been doing tango like for 2 months now, personally I wouldn't do any class. I wouldn't do any class. If I really wanted to do a class, I would choose maybe one class from the beginner and one technique class, and I would spend more time in the milongas and the practicas offered in the festival than I would spend in classes. Now, if I was with a friend, I would aim to actually get to those practicas and milongas as early as possible to get some dances in when the floor is not that crowded, and you're starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable and unsure. So when the floor is not that crowded, you get there with a friend or with your group. Many other people get there early to grab a spot, and this is therefore a good way to meet new people and actually get some dances in without feeling uncomfortable. So that's what I would have done if I had If I had just started like 2 months ago, if I really wanted to take a class, I would take one technique class that covers of something really very, very essential. I wouldn't go for embellishments, for example. I would go for something that has to do with ochos or walks or balance drills or something like that, or a basic, not a basic, an essential, a class around essential elements in the beginner level, one or the other, and that would be it. And I would spend more time in milongas and practicas. Now, if you're a beginner again, but you've done, you've had your 8 months classes, or if you are an intermediate or an advanced dancer, you have to go through the menu first. And that's what you actually present to your teacher, the person who is, that person that you need to follow their advice. So, that person. So, usually, when we check the festival schedule, we see 3 things. 1, the title of the class. 2, the description of the class, really short, maybe two sentences. And 3, the name of the instructor. Do not choose by title. That's one thing you should not choose based on. Titles are, because of, you have limited space, you can't just write and write and write, and it's not like a book. So titles are nearly as descriptive as they should be for someone to make an informed decision on the class. Usually it's like, I don't know, valse. Well, okay. So that doesn't really tell you much. Now, between 2 or 3, meaning description of the class and the instructor, start from the instructor first. Research, do some quick research on the instructor. Talk to your teacher, ask him, okay, these people are coming to class, I'm thinking of taking their classes, what do you think? Check YouTube, you can check Facebook, you can check Twitter, you can check Instagram, you can do a police check. No, I'm joking, don't do that. So your goal here is not to see whether they are good dancers. It's highly likely that they are to be invited to the festival. What you do want to see is what their strengths are. What do they seem to be focusing on when they're dancing? What they have learned and from whom? Who are they following? Who are their mentors? Who are the people that they're looking up to? You see, you check the profile of the teacher, and then you won't be disappointed. For example, different followers at different times have come to me after the class, and they complained about the teacher. They're saying things, oh, she focused so much, like usually it's technique classes, she focused so much on the hips. Oh, she focused so much on the feet, or this or that. Well, most of the times, a little bit of research will give you that information. So you see the video, you watch really closely, you see a couple of them, you start to notice that, oh, okay, person X is clearly very interested in feet because her footwork is always so elaborate, is always so fascinating, and so clearly they have worked on their footwork a lot. So therefore, they are very much interested into that. They find that is very important. If you're not interested in footwork, do not take their class. Okay? So, the teacher who seems to be closer to what you're interested in, that's the teacher you need to actually approach. Then also, the teacher who seems to be matching your goals better, who seems to be just a little bit closer to a plug. All right, let's plug this in because it's not going to be working after a little while. All right, I'm back. So then the last thing about how you choose a teacher is the teacher that you are ready to listen to. And this is very important. There are 2 major dangers when you choose a teacher, and that teacher is a top world performer. So this is not by me, actually. This is by the Team Ferriss book For Our Chef, which is a book. It's a weird cooking book where it actually teaches you how to learn things fast, effectively, and efficiently. So maybe I'm doing a very bad work saying this and describing it, but that's what it is. It's an amazing book. So, two major dangers that Tim Ferriss presents in the book is, one, the teacher it is too good for your level, aka what they have to offer you, though it can be unimaginably helpful in the future, now is useless because you're not as advanced as you need to be to hear it. They have internalized their craft at such a level that it is difficult for them to externalize it and simplify it enough for you to actually get it. It is almost like a second nature to them, and second nature, it's not the easiest thing to teach. You can't really value what they give you because you don't know enough. Secondly, the fact that they are great dancers, it doesn't mean that they are great teachers as well. There is this 1% of top performers who they would have made it they would have made it no matter what. I mean, it's in its genetics. It's how the stars have aligned for them. Who knows? No, really, they would have made it no matter how they trained, and that's the important part. You are looking for someone who can tell you how to work in your tango, how do you work on your tango to be able to progress. That's the teacher's job, to show you the path. So the thing is, there is that 1% who, no matter how they trained, because of their genes, because of their great schedule, because that they could actually fit many hours in and work, because their parents were dancers, because of all these other things, no matter how they trained, they would have gotten there. So they might not be able to tell you how to train. So they might not be the best fit. I don't so I only have one example to give you that better fits, I think, in the first category, but it has happened to me, so that's why I'm going to share this story with you. Quick story. So I took a class, and I've written about it. Many of you went crazy with the story, and the comments were varying between, oh, this is amazing, to you're a lunatic. So I took a class with Pablo Veron, and it was the best timing that I could have taken this class. So I was talking about it then, and I'm still like, the things that I got from one phrase that he said to me is unbelievable. Like the work that I've managed to do after that class. So I was sharing that story with other friends, and they were saying, "Oh, what? Really? Oh, that's amazing! Damn it! Maybe I shouldn't have taken that. I shouldn't have taken that group class. I should have taken a private class with him." No. You probably shouldn't have taken that private class with him. What you should have done is you should have waited possibly a little bit, quietly and calmly worked on becoming advanced, but really worked on not just your craft, understanding movement, understanding your body, understanding the essence of not only tango but of dancing, and then go to him with the right questions so you can get the right answers. If you go to Pablo Veron and you ask him for to teach you the 11,000 ganchos that he can do, that's great because he can do all them, but is that really what you want? You see Pablo Veron dancing and that's really what you want to ask him? That's such a waste. But you don't really know what the right question is for that person who is actually brilliant as a dancer. You want to ask him about dance, the real essence of dance, the real essence of movement. But in order to be able to ask him that, you need to know that this is what you asked to Pablo Veron. So that's how you narrow it down based on teacher. And lastly, you have the description of the class, the description of the different classes. So you have an idea of who is the right fit in terms of teachers, and you're saying now, all right, these teachers are offering XYZ classes. Many people, and that's a great quick choice, will say, you know what, this looks interesting, cool, fun, whatever you want to call it, that's what I'm gonna do. That's one option. I don't go by that option because I really want to invest in my progress. So, but if you are doing this more for the fun of it, then this is really the option for you. That's what I'm not saying it's a bad idea or a good idea. I think it's really based on what you want to do. So if you are looking at this a little bit more though for the future, thinking ahead, how is this going to fit in my overall work on tango and help me make the fastest and more smooth progress forward, then I think you would have to look into the classes and find the one that is really, and find the ones that are really working on things that you already know but you're not really good at, B, already know and you are good at. So as you noticed, for me there is no option of I have no idea what this is, I'm gonna try it now. You won't be able to pick it up in one class. You would probably need to pick that up with multiple classes. These people are not going to be there for multiple classes, and it only creates confusion to do right off the bat, learn something from multiple teachers. So because you would have to actually do that, at least 2 teachers. What I mean to say is, say you know tango and you've never done milonga before, and you see that there is milonga on the schedule and you're saying, oh great, this is my opportunity, I'll do my first class of milonga here. Bad idea for me, I think. So you'll probably need a few more classes than just one to get the idea of the basic idea of milonga. It is better to get the basic idea of milonga from one teacher instead of getting the basic idea of milongas from 2, 3, 4, 5, as many teachers as come by your way. First, you get that basic idea from one teacher, a person you trust, and then you start hearing to the perspectives of other teachers, making your base and your knowledge of milonga bigger and bigger. So if you have no idea, you've never done this before, this class that is offered, it looks like fun, but you're like, I don't know, don't do it. Don't do it. Wait for next year, or for the next festival. Then choose the class that is something that you maybe feel uncomfortable with, you suck at, or a class that you know that you're good at and you need that extra push. So I don't know. I know you're good in musicality. You pick it up fast. You're really enjoying it. Perfect, amazing. Go to that musicality class. Listen to some new tips and go back home and really work on it. Work on these new tips. Make your craft even better. Make that skill even better. Now, lastly, one last criteria is find the class that fits in the, let's see, how can we put it? It makes sense. That fits into your strategy. Yeah, that fits into your strategy. And this is where your teacher comes in very handy again. So the person who knows exactly what you have worked on is the person who can actually help you make an informed decision, because it's the person that built this or help you build this strategy for learning tango, and that person will be able to tell you that this is the block that's been missing, and we can put it right in here. So it can be that your teacher can help you find the right piece that will help you fill that puzzle, make that puzzle full. So as Tim Ferriss said in The 4-Hour Chef, material beats method. What you study is more important in how you study. So it is vital if you want to build on your progress to have a greater strategy about this, of how you choose your material, because good material is more important than how you study the material. So what I would suggest overall that you do, just to sum this up, is you print out a schedule, you go to your teacher after you've done your research, your quick research, and you say, here are the classes that I can take, and here are the teachers that I think match my interest and level. Your teacher might have some some objections on that. Hear them out. Which of these classes do you think I should take? Notice that I'm not going to the teacher saying, hey, this festival is happening, and which classes do you think I should take? It's quite different. What I asked is for the big picture. Basically, I asked my teacher, I'm interested in this. I've done the research. I've done the work. I know that these people are actually a better fit. These teachers are a better fit for my interests. Hear him out. Hear your teacher out if he or she has a different idea, a different opinion on that. I've done my homework, and I'm coming to you to tell me if any of these things are missing pieces from the puzzle of my tango progress. You're not asking them to do the schedule for you. You're not asking them to do the research for you. You're not asking them to do the homework that you should be doing to enter that course, to enter that the festival classes fully prepared and ready to take 100% out of them. So they're there to help you. Your teacher is there to help you, is there to guide you, to give you some ideas, but they're not there to do all the work from you. So not just because they're not like a top performer, top world dancer, getting invited to all these festivals, doesn't mean that they're not busy. So they're busy people, and expecting them to do the work and the research for you is actually quite rude. So because I know you're not rude people, you're not going to do that. So bottom line here, be strategic, realistic, proper English, realistic, patient, and leave your ego at the door. So objectively define your level based on that, choose your options. Do the research on the teacher teaching those options. And lastly, go to your teacher and ask them to help you make the right selection in materials that fit the greater tango picture that you want to build. So that is it, you all. If you like videos like that, leave a comment below of other things that I can cover, and I'll be more than happy to do so. You can also, if you haven't seen it, you can also find the Tango Festivals Networking Volume 1 in this channel, and hear the suggestions there for attending the milongas and having lots of fun. Or you can visit actually Bautanz.com at the Tango Chats section, and you can find the Tango Networking Volume 1 there. Now, if you're interested for a course that has deconstructed tango and all the essential blocks, that offers you tips and recipes on how to select and sequence these essential blocks, these essential elements, depending on your needs and goals, there you will be able to find at Bautanz.com under Programs and Courses Intelligent Tango, where you'll learn how to reconstruct your posture, smoothen out your walks and ochos, and make tango a second nature. So what this course does is that has broken down tango into essential elements: posture, walks, ochos, balance, bringing in the embrace, bringing in embellishments, all elements that are essential in dancing tango, all elements that if you manage to get really good at them, you'll off for the races, basically. You're off for the races on those dance floors around the world. What is left for you to do when you enter a course like that is actually make the selection of those different little videos covering those elements, each element with different exercises and from different perspectives, and sequence those videos in your practice. Make therefore a practice plan following the tips offered, or you can actually select a set practice recipe. They start from 10 minutes, they go up to 2 hours and more, and actually raise the stakes for yourself. What does that mean? It means that it is up to you to challenge yourself. There is a Facebook support group. Oh Lord. So there's a Facebook group. There's a Facebook group for Intelligent Tango, where you can get help and like-minded people to work with and pick ideas from, and so on and so forth. But it's on you to challenge yourself, and it's on you to see what it is that you're going to lose if you don't practice, and what it is that you're going to gain if you do practice. And we cover all this, how you do it, how to stay motivated in Motivation Guide. We cover how you make a proper selection and proper sequencing of the exercises in your practice in a guide just about choosing exercises and making that experience of the practice the best for you. And we also have a guide on how to start from a 30-second, a little tiny drop of tango, and reach and scale up to 2-hour practice. So basically, I've done a big part of the work here based on how I practice. But now, if you're ready to come in and build on the dancer you want to be on the dance floor, then this is a great opportunity for you. So check it out at bautanz.com/programs and courses, and I hope I hear your comments, your questions, your thoughts about that. I'll be more than happy to actually get back on you on that. And if you want more videos like this, leave a comment below. See you soon.